What if I told you one of the greatest writers in history locked himself naked in a room just to finish his book? Paris, 1830. The city is a tempest of change, wrapped in the throes of a new artistic era. The streets echo with the sounds of passionate debates, revolutionary cries, and the scuffle of boots on cobblestone. At the heart of this frenzy is Victor Hugo, a towering literary figure whose mind is a storm as wild as the city itself. Yet, despite his genius, Hugo is ensnared by a devil of his own making, procrastination. His quill hangs suspended over empty parchment, and his thoughts, like the city, are fragmented, torn between the chaos of politics and the allure of Parisian nightlife. A deadline looms. His masterpiece, The Hunchback of Notre-Dame, must be finished by autumn. Time is slipping away, like the fog over the Seine, thick and impenetrable. Desperation takes root. How can he write when the world demands so much of him? In the dimly lit corridors of his home, Hugo confronts his greatest enemy, his own will. The bustling life of Paris, the dinners, the endless meetings, all serve as temptations he can't resist. But in his study, Hugo hatches a plan, one so bizarre it defies logic. He instructs his servants, with cold precision, to take away every stitch of clothing, all of it gone. With nothing left but a thick, knitted shawl, Hugo finds himself bound to his own space, confined to the study like a prisoner. There are no distractions, no reason to leave, no way to flee the world outside. In this strange, naked exile, Hugo begins to write. The sound of his quill on parchment fills the silence, a rhythmic scratching that grows more frantic as the days slip by. The room around him becomes a fortress, the walls pressing in as Hugo sinks deeper into his work. The scent of old books mingles with the musky air of the study. His quill dances feverishly across the pages, ink staining his fingers as though he's attempting to bleed the very essence of his soul onto the paper. The hours blur, merging into endless nights. He no longer remembers the taste of food, the feel of silk or velvet, nor the warmth of a well-tailored suit. The world outside continues in its frenzy, but within his prison, time is suspended. The gray shawl is his only armor against the encroaching distractions of life. His mind, sharp and focused, begins to unfurl the tale of Quasimodo and Esmeralda, and in these moments, Hugo finds the freedom that had long eluded him. As the weeks pass, Hugo becomes a ghost in his own home. The once lively figure, the center of Parisian society, has been reduced to a solitary, isolated writer, bound by his own desperation. His thoughts, once scattered like autumn leaves in the wind, now come together with stunning clarity. The story of the Hunchback of Notre-Dame flows with an unstoppable force, each word an echo of his inner torment and creativity. Outside, Paris still rages, but Hugo is beyond it now. He no longer feels the weight of the world pressing against him. Instead, he is lost in the world he's creating, a world filled with passion, tragedy, and triumph. The deadline draws closer, but he's no longer afraid. His writing is the key to his salvation. One fateful morning, as the first light of dawn peeks through the shutters, Hugo sets down his quill. The manuscript, now complete, lies in front of him, a testament to his perseverance, to his odd and desperate method. He has finished. Against all odds, he has beaten procrastination, his own worst enemy. The room feels oddly still, as if the very walls have been holding their breath. Hugo, now free from the self-imposed prison, dons his clothes once more, stepping back into the world of Paris. The city, still in upheaval, welcomes him back, but he knows that what he has written will forever echo through its streets, a legacy that will outlast even his most desperate measures. The city of Paris, a labyrinth of narrow streets and grand boulevards, seems to hum with the electric pulse of revolution and art. Yet, within the walls of his study, Hugo's battle is far more personal. His skin, chilled by the draft of the open window, tingles beneath the rough wool of the shawl. He could feel the weight of time slipping through his fingers like grains of sand. The words that had once eluded him now flow like a torrent, driven by the urgency that has finally taken hold. Each morning, the golden light that spills through the window offers a fleeting reminder of the outside world. But Hugo remains chained to the desk, his soul entwined in his creation. He writes furiously, driven by a deep, unspoken truth. The city outside may demand masterpieces, but only through his own sacrifice can he deliver it. This dark symbiosis of art and isolation fuels him, pushing him further into the depths of his tortured imagination. As the days stretch on, the solitude of Hugo's self-imposed exile begins to weigh heavier on him. The only sounds in the room are the scratching of his quill and the occasional rustle of parchment. His body, once full of life and laughter, now seems frail and hunched. The once powerful frame that stood as a symbol of his artistic prowess now seems a shadow of itself, gaunt and unrecognizable. His mind, however, is sharp, razor-focused. In his nakedness, he has stripped away the distractions of life, but also, perhaps, something of his very soul. The characters of the Hunchback of Notre-Dame begin to live and breathe within him. Quasimodo's hunchbacked form, the tenderness of Esmeralda's heart, and the tragic beauty of their doomed love. Hugo feels as if he is living alongside them, their pain, their joy, becoming his own. Yet, there are moments of doubt. Is this true creation, or is he simply a puppet to his own obsessions? The silence in the study is broken only by the rustling of pages and the occasional exhale of breath. Outside, Paris has not stopped turning. The streets are still teeming with energy, the cafes alive with laughter, the salons buzzing with the ideas of revolution and rebellion. But Hugo, now completely isolated from the world, feels as though he is in a dream, a world suspended between past and present, reality and creation. His mind drifts, sometimes caught between the realms of his novel and the reality that waits beyond his door. The Battle of the Hunchback of Notre-Dame plays out not only on the pages, but within him. The weight of his own vulnerability, his nakedness, his solitude, his obsession, becomes both a blessing and a curse. There is a strange freedom in this self-imposed exile, yet a growing sense of unease. He wonders, has he sacrificed too much in the name of his art? With each passing day, Hugo's obsession deepens. His hair grows wild and unruly, his eyes bloodshot from long hours of writing. The shawl, once a symbol of his confinement, now seems almost like an extension of him. His body aches, but his mind is unrelenting. The world outside is no longer real to him. It is but a distant memory, like the faint echo of a bell tolling far off. In this space of nakedness and solitude, Hugo becomes both creator and creation, his life bleeding into the world of Quasimodo and Esmeralda. His thoughts race as his quill moves in erratic strokes, the ink blotting across the pages like the tears of his characters. It is no longer just a book, this is his life's blood. As he writes, he realizes that perhaps the tragedy of the Hunchback of Notre-Dame is not confined to the pages, but is a reflection of his own struggle, his own descent into the depths of isolation and creative fever. The end is near. Hugo's manuscript sits before him, its pages filled with the raw energy of a mind both tormented and inspired. He feels a strange calm wash over him as the last words are written. The battle has been won. The masterpiece is complete, and with it, the strange, almost mystical journey of his self-imposed exile. The silence in the room is deafening now, the absence of sound more profound than the ticking of any clock. Hugo, though exhausted and disheveled, stands up, his legs stiff from days of sitting. He looks at the manuscript, his creation, his legacy. A sense of pride fills him, but also a profound weariness. For all the success of his work, he has given up a part of himself that may never return. He slowly dresses, his fingers trembling as he pulls on his clothes, the world outside waiting for him. Yet, Hugo knows that what he has accomplished will echo through history, a testament to the power of isolation, obsession, and the relentless pursuit of art. Hugo steps out into the streets of Paris, the air cool against his face, the city alive with its usual pulse. But he is no longer the same man who had entered his study months ago. His time in isolation has changed him. His gaze is sharper, more distant, as if the world around him is no longer quite as real. The sounds of the bustling cafes, the laughter spilling from the salons, the arguments in the streets, they all seem to float by him, faint and distant. He is now a man who has traversed the dark corridors of his own mind, a place where only his creations could guide him. As he walks, He knows that the Hunchback of Notre-Dame will forever be intertwined with his very essence, and the city that once buzzed with distraction now feels strangely hollow to him. He wonders, has the price of this creation been too high? The manuscript is in the hands of his publisher, and the city waits with bated breath. Paris, a city caught between revolution and the fervor of artistic expression, now turns its eyes toward Hugo. The words he has written will soon be read by thousands, and the characters he brought to life will walk the cobbled streets in the minds of all who encounter them. But Hugo knows that the world will never truly understand the cost of his work, the sacrifice, the isolation, the madness. He begins to feel a strange detachment, as though the Hunchback of Notre-Dame is no longer his to control. His characters have taken on a life of their own, and in the eyes of the public, Hugo himself is becoming an enigma, a shadow of the man who created them. He is left to wonder whether the world will ever truly comprehend the dark journey he embarked upon to craft such a masterpiece. In the quiet solitude of his study, Hugo begins to reflect on the price of his creation. The manuscript, now safely delivered to the publisher, seems like a distant thing, something he once possessed, but now has left behind. The events of the past months, his strange self-imposed exile, his nakedness, his obsessive drive, all feel like fragments of a dream. He begins to question whether his sacrifice was truly worth it. The city that once beckoned him with its allure now feels like a distant memory. Paris, with its salons, its politics, and its endless distractions, no longer holds the same power over him. He has, in a way, become a prisoner of his own mind, and as much as he longs to re-enter the world of society, he knows that the man who left it behind in search of artistic truth will never truly return. The battle between art and life has left its mark on him forever. The streets of Paris are alive with excitement as the first copies of the Hunchback of Notre-Dame begin to circulate. Hugo watches, from a distance, as the city reacts. The characters he created, Quasimodo, Esmeralda, and the tragic tale of Notre Dame, are now in the hands of thousands. But there is no great joy in this moment for him. The world may celebrate the novel, but Hugo is haunted by a sense of emptiness, as though something vital has been lost in the act of creation. He wanders the streets, his mind spinning, the faces of his characters flashing before him like ghosts. It is as if the walls between reality and fiction have blurred, and he cannot escape the hold his own story has on him. He begins to wonder if he has sacrificed too much in the name of art, and if the price he paid for success was his very soul. Years pass, but the legacy of the Hunchback of Notre-Dame endures. Hugo, now an older man, stands once again at the threshold of his study, the place where he birthed the novel that changed his life. The room is filled with the same silence that once surrounded him during those long months of isolation. Yet, something is different. The echoes of his earlier self seem to have faded, replaced by the wisdom that only time can bring. He has long since made peace with the sacrifices he made, his isolation, his obsession, his naked exile. In the end, he knows that it was all worth it. The Hunchback of Notre-Dame has become more than just a novel. It is a symbol of the cost of creation, a testament to the dark, mysterious journey that art demands. Paris, too, has changed, as it always does. But Hugo's masterpiece stands as a beacon for those who dare to venture into the depths of their own creative souls.